Bentley straight they go. You can see in the mid-pack there, 2 and 3 are wide, but pretty much line as such. We'd actually got the move done. It's a good move there from him, but it's Ben Short up front with Steve Foden, and the two of them are getting away from the pack behind, just like they did yesterday. Possibly you have a point there in that it might still be a bit damp offline, so overtaking could be a bit more difficult than it normally would be, certainly for the first race or two today, assuming it does dry out as the forecast says it will. So it's Short leading, Foden in second, Tom Smith is in third place, number 41, as they make their way across the start and finish line. In fourth place, number 38, Stuart Simmons. Fifth is number 1, Ben Hansey. Sixth is number 72, Matthew Short. Then Marcus Bailey, number 154, is seventh, and Callum Greatrex, eighth. This is Stuart Simmons, and it's Ben Hansey that was trying to get alongside him and go past him up into Wilson, but he was on the outside line, and he couldn't make that work. Just ahead of them is Jason Greatrex, who's not showing up on the scoring tower, so that car's got transponder not working correctly, so this is actually the battle for 5th and 6th positions, with that Greatrex car just ahead, and Hansey's pulled out of the toe, trying to go to the outside now as Stuart Simmons and goes through. So a good exit there to Chapman curve, and Ben Hansey gets into what is actually now 6th position. Stuart Simmons and Matthew Short are quite running behind here. Greatrex gets ahead there, and Marcus Bailey, so Marcus Bailey maybe 9 laps, just depending on whether the dampness has an effect on the lap times. But Declan McDonald, you can see in the James Tucker Racing run car, normally runs cars for Declan's stepson Joe Wigan, who's a front runner in another Mazda MX5 championship. But here's Ben Hansey, and he's now going after Tom Smith then, isn't he? That's because Jason Greatrex has got past Smith for third, and I think Smith's about to lose another to Hansey. He is, isn't he? On the inside line is Hansey. Smith are just a bit wider there, and a couple of cars behind him. He's got Matthew Short, Ben's father. Smith is going to try and get back ahead of Hansey even. He's going to use the toe along the Bentley straight to try and make that work, but here's Ben Short in the lead. He jinks this way and that just to try and break the toe from number 77, Steve Foden. These two are a long way clear of the rest. Jason Greatrex the second place car is Steve Foden, 1 minute 31.0, and into Richie's comes this round, third Hansey unable to make a move. So far, Jason Greatrex is now showing on our timing screens as well. You can see there, if you're on the live stream, on the left hand side of your screen. If you want to get the live time, you can get that as well via the 750 Motor Club website, 750mc.co.uk. 4 cars there disputing third position. Greatrex, Hansey, Smith and Simmons make their way through Chapman and onto the Bentley straight once again. This is now lap number 4 of the race, and Tom Smith there just falling a few car lengths behind Ben Hansey. I think he may have just possibly lost the toe, and therefore we'll have to switch to defence from Stuart Simmons in the number 38 car. There's a bit of a gap back then to Matthew Short, but this is Hansey now going to third place on the inside line at the Roundel. He's got started on the inside, so this race, and Ben Short up front just now breaking away from Steve Foden. Yeah, he is. About 9/10 of a second is the gap there. Is the 22 car. That's Adrian Johnson, been racing in this championship for a little while now with his son Jordan, who was a bit further down the order. He's in 28th position at the moment. Jordan was, well, he was on one occasion a race winner, I think, last year as well. So certainly a regular visitor to the top 6. Jordan Johnson had a retirement yesterday, I think, so had to start from the back, which is partly the reason why he's so far down. Races over the last few seasons, whether he's done a full championship campaign or occasionally dipped in as a visitor, he has probably won comfortably more than anybody else. Here's Marcus Bailey being put under pressure by Richard Baxter, who's on the outside line. He's trying to stay in there, but no, we've seen a few times this weekend where people have tried to make a move on the exit at Chapman, but it's not really a great overtaking opportunity, is it? Time on the exit corner, after Baxter, now Adrian Johnson is challenging. Smith ahead of Greatrex, who's dropped off the timing tower again, I'm afraid, with those transponder issues. But he is there, he's now in 5th place, and he's trying to get 4th place back from Tom Smith, who's almost pushing down the Bentley straight. You can certainly see off a Chapman curve, offline there, it is pretty damp still. So much challenges underneath the vehicle bridge, underneath the Brundle, as we saw yesterday. Richard Baxter, who's got hard Marcus Bailey, and he's flying ahead. Now as they turn and up towards the long hole they go, and up the side, Luke Baxter couldn't go through though, hanging on to the 8, and it gets to the inside of the corner. A brave challenge there for Baxter, because he put the brakes on to avoid contact with the Marcus Bailey as well. What's the stuff like here? But left centre point. Pretty wet, and if they're struggling, we can catch up right on their back. He got a bit of a dent in the side of his car. Meanwhile, round the outside at Wilson, hairpin tries Johnson, but again that move just doesn't work. Lancashire, car number 17, is back with 5 clubs for this weekend, having a good run. Here's side by side. Running it past Stuart Simmons. 7th position for this battle. Weekend here at Snetterton, isn't he? A bit roughly. They will run side by side. Inside line to the right hand. It's not over the goes on the inside, and that potentially gives a great the place. Ben Hansi gets back to the back. Quite a bit of that. Faster yesterday. Anyway. Ben Hansi comes away from the distance in the last 30 has gone fairly short swing by 2 seconds or Steve Foden. The who is going to be third. It's going to be a drag race one. We had a few of these yesterday. I think it's just Hansi, isn't it, that holds on from Smith. Ben Hansi behind. Over the white line, wasn't he? Fantastic, all over the grass.